Hey everyone, what is going on? My name is Nick and welcome back to the Nick and Doug Express, where I like to express my opinions on a variety of different content. Today I'm going to be continuing my reviews of Christopher Nolan's films. I did Inception, I did Memento, and since I'm not really doing it in any particular order, today I'm going to be talking about Interstellar. So again, if you want to express your opinion about Christopher Nolan's movies or Interstellar or just maybe something related to Christopher Nolan's types of movie making or just in that realm, feel free to put it down in the comments section, express your opinion, because that's what I'm doing in this video, is expressing mine, and I love to hear yours. So with that being said, let's get into my pros for Interstellar. So Interstellar came out about 6 years ago now. This is the first time I saw a Christopher Nolan movie in the theater. I was getting into films more 2014. I mean, I've grown up with films, but like trying to range into a bunch of different categories. And Interstellar was like an epic. After coming off of Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, I was just like, okay, I need to see this guy make this like IMAX made epic again, because it is an epic, Christopher Nolan epic made for the common man. And I remember just being so astounded in the theater. I was like 15, I'm pretty sure. And I was, 15-year-old kid seeing a movie like Interstellar. You're just like blown away by the visuals, the acting is always good in a Christopher Nolan movie. I guess I should say with the pros, the acting, Matthew McConaughey, I've liked him in a decent amount of stuff, but this is one of those roles, like, I can't believe Christopher Nolan had Matthew McConaughey in like the main role. I mean, I liked him in the movie a lot. I couldn't believe Matthew McConaughey was in this movie. And I was like, good on him, man. And then you got like Anne Hathaway. You got Jessica Chastain. You got the guy who from Dexter, season 4. I can't think of his name. I always know his name, but now I can't. He even played Lord Farquaad in Shrek. Anyway, that guy's in it. He's got like so many like random... Matt Damon is in the movie, alright? Like, it's such an interesting group of characters to have in a Christopher Nolan movie. I just would not expect. And so, I love the acting so much. Again, the visuals, the space storytelling, the time storytelling. It's a good chunk of a movie. It's got to be at least 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's a big movie, and it's not that you can't tell it's long, because I think at certain points you can, but there's just so much going on, so much science fiction, so much just like, what is this new world we've come accustomed to, and it's really interesting. And then you have like, when you start the movie, our Earth is like having dust storm type of things, and the baseball games are like so miniature sized now. That was an interesting thing. Like, this movie has such a high scale, because Inception was a high scale movie, but the storytelling was so simple and small scale, but the whole grand scheme of the movie is huge. And Interstellar, when he goes to his big heights, there's a lot going on, and I feel like that's where maybe people just feel like he's pushing the boundaries too much. But again, this movie is like such an adventurous epic, visually stunning, amazing cast. The score, I don't always forget the score, but I don't want to forget the score. The score by Hans Zimmer. He did Inception. He's done a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, and he does Interstellar, and it's basically up to par with Inception's score. It's maybe yours, it's your favorite. It's really hard to like know which Hans Zimmer score by which film is like the best one, but again, he pulls out a banger, and it's just like, how do you do this? I couldn't like orchestrate a note if it was to save my life. I would probably just have a wand and just be like, end up doing some weird like Harry Potter thing. But anyway, the movie, those are my pros, man. I mean, I don't even have that many cons, just to say that right now. A lot of these Christopher Nolan movies, my like cons or med parts. I do pros, med parts, cons. It's really hard with Christopher Nolan, because the man in my head is such a genius mastermind when it comes to filmmaking. that everyone has his flaws, and I don't think that any movie is really perfect anyway, but his movies always come close. So with that all being said, I'm pretty sure that's all of my pros. I mean, the entire movie, just how it's constructed from beginning to end, if anything, it is really as well thought out as a film can be for the size, and I think Christopher Nolan did the best he could. So that being said, let's get in my met parts. I don't even think I'm gonna have cons. It'd just be met parts because nothing I really hate or like just extremely dislike, which is normally why I have cons. So going from pros to met parts, the met parts, it's only a couple. Again, it's really small. Unlike Inception, where it's like nitpicking, I could really not find anything wrong with that. Interstellar, this film. Interstellar, first half, fantastic. Even the like the last part is still fantastic in its own right. But I could like start to see where people would be like, oh, it seems like he's just kind of throwing stuff out there, and it's well thought out enough, but it kind of just like doesn't stick out as well as Inception's ending did, because you're going so far into space, you're pushing so many realms of like possibility, and I can like understand that ideal because, again, from seeing the movie, it's like, how would all this stuff even work or make sense? But again, you have to go back to the fact that it's a movie, it's a film made by somebody, and with as much resources and the budget that he had with this movie, you gotta believe he did a good amount of research, trying to do as much as you can. At the end of the day, it's science fiction, it's fiction. Like, you can come up with anything, and yeah, the realm of possibility, things like having data and explanations to make it feel plausible in that third act, to make it seem realistic, that's like what you would want to make a film better and seem more prone to reality, like in the real life. That's why we go to the movies, to either get entertained or to get some other sense of another world, to numb our brains from this world. So it's like, when you have to start thinking about fiction and all these things that are just like, it's not real. All right, like the third act, as much as it pushes those boundaries, like to maybe we're like, how like, one, I don't think it's even that big a deal. Like, I can see where some might have that problem and like make it kind of a bad movie, but again, I'll say it's like, it's only meh parts. Like, it's only meh to me, because it's like, like meh. Like, I don't really like, to me personally, that third act is fine. Like, I still enjoy it. It doesn't really detract that much from the movie to me. Like, yeah, it's a long movie, and maybe that third act didn't have the payoff you were expecting, but you don't have to expect that ending. It's a decent ending. It's pretty good. I mean, for what he does, man, like, you can only do so much, and it's Christopher Nolan, and he's telling this epic scale, and if I'm gonna just like knock him down like that many points just because he doesn't have like the brain capacity to know what actually space and all this stuff is, because we're maybe in the future, you never know, but like for right now, 6 years ago, the realm of mind frame we had of space time, it's like you can only go so far. So I only demote it barely anything. Like, I still think it's basically a fantastic movie. I mean, Christopher Nolan has yet to make a bad movie, and I'm so anticipating Tenet, and it really just sucks that it's August 12th now that it's coming out. Like, oh, bro, it was like June, then it was July 10th, July 17th, July 31st, and now it's August 12th. And it's just like, bro, if I'm gonna go on a little tangent, man, so I'm gonna stop right there. But again, love Christopher Nolan. The man is a genius, as I keep saying, and I don't have any cons. Those were my med parts. Or did I miss one? I said third act, which is like, hammy or whatever, and then see, that's what happens when you go off on a tangent. I think that's really my only flaw, to be honest. Like, it's noticeable that people would have an issue with that, but at the same time, with this film he's making, it can only detract so far. So to me, it's a solid film, really good film. In fact, it's not as good as Inception, but it'd be like right below that one, man. So I think that's all my thoughts, guys. If you want me to make more types of videos of Christopher Nolan's movies after I finish these one-on-one film rankings, or film reviews, I should say, film rankings, leave it down in the comment section. Express your opinion. I'm going to be doing the rest of them. I'm trying to plan it out because I had each week planned, but now since it's pushed back more, it's kind of like all over the place, so I don't know. But this is my Interstellar review, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys come back to more of my videos so you can hear my thoughts and express my opinion on a bunch of different topics. So that being said, guys, I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.